What's going on, everybody? It is Joe. Welcome to the channel today. It's obviously a big time in history for Bitcoin right now with that strategic reserve announcement and that executive order that President Trump signed yesterday. So we're going to unpack that at the end of this video a little bit. We're going to wait to hear more from the Crypto Summit and how that goes later today before we fully unpack everything, but we will touch on that a little bit. But for starters, I saw this clip of Rachel Maddow from MSNBC comparing Bitcoin to buying Beanie Babies. Yes, you heard that right. She was comparing Bitcoin to buying Beanie Babies and was questioning why it's in the strategic reserve, and the clip was something else. Like, you almost have to watch it to fully believe it and hear what she's actually saying. And so I just want to get right into that and play this clip for you guys so you can get your thoughts. Before we do that, comment below what you're drinking. I'm drinking a coffee today, and so give me your thoughts below what you're drinking. I'd love to interact with you guys, hear what you guys are drinking. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button to hear further videos from me. But with that being said, take a listen to this. Rachel Maddow from MSNBC calls the strategic Bitcoin reserve an old-fashioned simple scam, comparing it to buying billions and Beanie Babies. She also starts it off by saying, "I'm not an expert," which should just automatically disqualify everything she says after that. So it's kind of funny that that happened. But take a listen to this.
I'm by no means a crypto expert. I'm not going to give you a lecture on blockchain or...
I'm by no means a crypto expert, and then she proceeds to talk about crypto, so funny how that goes.
Meme coins or any of that. A, I don't know, and B, I don't care. But I do think it's worth looking at this crypto thing a little bit, only because it is a deeply, deeply old-fashioned, simple scam at this point, which points right to the White House. News from the White House tonight really gives us no choice. You have to look at it. Helpfully, the broad strokes of crypto trading are not complicated. It's like when there was the Beanie Baby craze in the late 90s. People started buying these stuffed animals, right? Beanie Babies, kind of inherently not worth much, but people were speculating on them, right? It was a Beanie Baby trading bubble. Other than maybe some emotional value if you had one as a child, Beanie Babies didn't have much inherent value, but it was worth buying up a bunch of them because there was speculation on the premise that as collectibles, maybe one day your Beanie Babies collection could be worth a lot of money. Cryptocurrencies operate on the same idea. They have no inherent value at all. The only value they have is if you have some reason to believe that somebody else might want to buy them from you in the future. That's it.
I mean, you could say that about just about anything. So it's just comparing Bitcoin to Beanie Babies. I mean, come on.
And what that means in very practical terms is that convincing other people that your crypto is popular and in demand, convincing people that your crypto thing is going to have value in the future, it's going to be collectible as Beanie Babies, that is key to actually making money. One of the things the SEC alleged.
So there you have it. Buying Bitcoin is the same as buying Beanie Babies in the 90s. I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts about that in the comments below. Would you rather have a few Beanie Babies right now or a Bitcoin? Hopefully, we'll just watch Rachel Maddow sit on the sidelines for this and let everyone else accumulate their Bitcoin while she does not. So, just found that super amusing, super funny. Compared Bitcoin, like a store of value, the future of finance, the digital gold, to buying Beanie Babies. Like, obviously, Beanie Babies were quite the craze back in the 90s, but just a completely different, like that, you can't compare the two in any sense of the imagination. So to hear her say that when it's in the strategic reserve and it's going to play a major role in this country going forward, and just to diminish it like that is quite something. But that said, that shows how early we still are in this industry, how early we still are in crypto, and how much further we can go. Because when people are still comparing it to buying Beanie Babies, they just simply do not understand the value and the potential of crypto and of Bitcoin going forward. And when that's the case, when people still have no idea what role it could play, that just shows how early we are. And that being said, like, the sky is still the limit. Once people fully understand how it can be used, once they fully understand the value that it has, it's just going to blow up that much more. So I wanted to share that with you guys. Going to be really curious to hear your thoughts below about that. And with that, let's also talk about another hint that I saw that I wanted to share with you guys as well, about something to possibly look forward to next week. So, Senator Loomis, thanks to the key efforts by Senator Loomis, we express our gratitude for the pivotal efforts on the federal level in establishing a strategic Bitcoin reserve for the United States of America. She's played a major role in making this happen. She's been instrumental in making this happen. She's been advocating for this for a long time, and so they gave thanks to her, and look at what she said in response. Thank you. Next week should be fun, with the eye emojis. Something is coming next week. She knows something, and she is giving us a hint that there is more to come next week. She is in the know. She knows what's coming, and she is responding to the Bitcoin Reserve and saying there is more coming next week. So stay tuned. Keep your eyes open for what is coming next week, because I feel like we're going to get some more big news regarding Bitcoin and crypto and the role it's going to play in this country. Then you also have her saying, this is only the beginning. President Trump promised to lead the most pro-digital asset administration in U.S. history, and today he is fulfilling that promise by embracing Bitcoin as a strategic asset. Beanie Babies are not a strategic asset, in case you were wondering or keeping score at home. I will make that declaration for you. Beanie Babies are not a strategic asset. Bitcoin is. So if you want to compare the two, go ahead. But I am not going to be comparing the two. President Trump has charted a path to addressing our national debt and securing America's position as the world leader in financial innovation. The American people will look back on this decision as the moment we reclaimed our financial future, and I look forward to partnering with President Trump to get this across the finish line. I don't know about you guys, but did we have senators in the 90s talking about Beanie Babies in this way? Talking about the president addressing Beanie Babies in this way? I don't recall that ever happening. I don't know, maybe I'm crazy, but yeah, I don't recall that ever happening. So take that information as you will, but this is hearing her say this, hearing her say that to stay tuned for next week, something big's coming next week. I'm paying attention, I'm listening to that. And then with that, just want to talk a little bit more about what this means for Bitcoin, what that strategic reserve announcement meant. There's a lot of people that were kind of disappointed that the U.S. would not be buying more Bitcoin for it, but they did say they would look for ways to acquire more that did not involve taxpayer money, so they didn't fully rule out acquiring more. They said they're going to be looking into ways to acquire more, they just wouldn't be using taxpayer money to do so. And so, breaking Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent on CNBC, first thing to do is stop government Bitcoin selling. Very bullish. Government's not going to be selling any Bitcoin. What they have is what they're going to hold, and that provides some sense of security in people's minds that they will not be selling any Bitcoin. We'll see what the way forward is for any Bitcoin acquisition. This is what I was just talking about. They did not fully rule out acquiring more Bitcoin for the reserve. It's just how they were going to acquire it that they were kind of ruling out. And then need to bring Bitcoin on shore. The U.S. is officially strategizing its Bitcoin holdings. This is massive. So we saw Bitcoin take a decent drop right when the news came out as people reacted to the fact that they would not be buying anymore. But when you zoom out, when you look at the grand scheme of things, Bitcoin is in the strategic reserve. That is just massive news going forward for crypto and Bitcoin. So when you zoom out, it's very bullish in my mind, and there's just so much positivity that can come from this. So I just wanted to talk about that with you guys. I think we might get a little more information and clarity today at the summit, but overall, I'm staying very bullish even with that news. I think it's great for Bitcoin long term. I think it's great for crypto long term. They mentioned the strategic stock or the stockpile, and with other cryptocurrencies going to be involved with that. So crypto as an industry took a major step forward yesterday despite some of the negative sentiment around it. and I'm very much looking forward to seeing how crypto will be used going forward in the future in the US, in the world, not just the US. I think there's going to be a trade war almost with who's going to acquire the most Bitcoin, who's going to acquire what cryptocurrencies, and it's just going to shoot prices to the moon. When that's going to happen, I don't know, but I'm staying very bullish about that. And as far as I can remember, I do not recall that ever happening with Beanie Babies. So that's the information for today. There's going to be more and more coming in the coming days, and especially next week with today with the Crypto Summit. I feel like we're entering that time period now that we know that it's in the strategic reserve, that people are going to start valuing it differently, that they're going to look at Bitcoin in a different sense. So now that that's the case, I feel like that can be the catalyst that really propels Bitcoin forward. So give me your thoughts below. Do you consider Bitcoin, like Beanie Babies, is just something that people have to sell people, and it only has value if other people want it, so you have to make other people want it to increase the value? Or do you think there's something more to Bitcoin like everyone else thinks, and like the President of the United States thinks, and everyone who's advising him thinks? Or do you agree with Rachel Maddow that it's just like Beanie Babies? So give me your thoughts below. Give me your thoughts on the strategic reserve. I'd love to hear them. I'd love to interact with you guys. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. It would greatly help the channel out. And until then, I will talk to you guys next time.